Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Experience 112, Blind. Now, last time I managed to get access to this archive computer or something. So let's try going through it. Audio files.
Darn. I suspect some files were altered, maybe due to the short circuit. Let's see the rest of them.
Okay, I've listened to the audio recording of the combat tirades.
I can't read the files on this screen. Try on your end.
So let's try the rest. Again, it's so quiet that I can't really hear anything, and it was fine in the other thingamajig.
Relax. You're swimming under the sea amongst the dolphins. The water is warm. The waves rock you back and forth. Let the peacefulness of the depths come over you. Breathe. Slowly.
Okay, that was some pretty weird, I don't know, relaxation tape or something.
Immediate departure for the outer reaches of the galaxy. Close your eyes. Stretch your arms down along the side of your body. You are peacefully leaving the atmosphere. A bubble is carrying you fast and with no sound. Listen. The infinite silence of the cosmos. Breathe.
Okay, I'm not sure what's the deal. What's the deal with the weird ASMR type recordings? Especially because this seems to imply to be a background description of leaving the confines of the Earth's atmosphere, which further muddies the water in terms of whether they are actually going to some other planet or just inside Earth's crust. So I'm kind of weirded out by that. There's also a file called Poetic Intoxication number 5, but unfortunately it's corrupted.
Lieutenant, it's regarding the digital archives.
I'm not sure I approve the idea of recording our passwords on audio tape. What if someone listened to them?
Impossible. The archives are sealed. We don't have a choice anyway. The new regulation...
I know. Another brilliant idea from the staff captain.
It's recording, Lieutenant.
All right. Name, Lincoln. First name, Michael. Alias, I have to provide the alias too?
Yes.
Alias, M. Lincoln. Password, password. Your turn now.
Name, Leonard. First name, Andy. Alias, A. Leonard. Password, P38. There. It's done.
Okay, so I have 2 additional passwords. But I don't feel like reading the files yet. I'll explore the rest of this, see what I can find, but first, let's go further with those. Okay, most of the videos are corrupted.
Unlisted specimen, 3x3 alternating sessile leaves, hairy auxiliary organs emitting a slight whistling. I hope it's audible. Species possibly with a nervous system. The plant responds to all stimulation, light, sound, tactile, olfactory. Another sensory and self-propelling species. We've named it Pendula in the laboratory since it balances itself non-stop. Some kind of giant anemone. Be careful with its papules, they might be poisonous. I've developed a serious migraine since we started observing it.
Okay, some of the plants have been described here, and there are 29 documents, which I find a little bit intimidating, but I guess most of them are corrupted. So, notes on reminiscent amnesis. Pursuant to the recently released military documents, we can no longer ignore the threat of a reminiscent amnesis, Brotherhood of the security of the base personnel and the entire Eden project. The initial findings of the inquiry were a sectarian-type organization with alarming propositions, but with a restricted audience. We were provided with one of their confidential tracts. It suggests that humanity is rooted in an alien race, the Oxaldines, rivals over millennia with the Tirades that vanquished and relegated the Tirades to the subterranean worlds. To hide at all costs the existence of the Tirades to the point of erasing their memories, and their name is the mission of the reminiscent amnesis. The organization appeared inoffensive. We now know that it avails itself of effective liaisons at the highest levels, maybe even within the government. We must, with utmost urgency, convince military authorities, the only one able to ensure our safety, if the amnesis should decide to invade. So there's like a secret organization that knows about the Tirades and tries to keep it undercover or something. Report on chemical ecology and links with insects. I've read that already from Zeitful. Introduction to the computer system. Base security is a rank C military base. According to official nomenclature, high security operation able to resist an army troop attack or minor commando type intrusion Practically speaking, the discrete nature of our activities do not allow the installation of any heavy artillery, such as a machine gun cannon. Our two security chiefs, M. Lincoln and A. Leonard, can legally carry handguns. It seems dangerous to equip researchers. On one hand, most are unfamiliar with handling handguns, but also because certain rivalries between the base personnel would increase the risk of incidents, therefore adopted a defensive strategy. The defense network of surveillance cameras, strictly controlled access, and the isolation of sensitive quadrants reflects this chosen strategy. Okay, recreational activities, read that already. Canyon zone photo library, entrance lock, depth, canyon's mouth, thermal anomaly, thermophilic flora, volcanic resurgence. So I guess this is from the depths of the earth. Depth 75 feet, 120, 190. Unidentified alkaloid deposits in rings around the well. Suspicious water chemistry. Okay. Typical fauna. Paradise number 1. Strange creatures can be found in East Eden. Not all these creatures inhabit the depths of the earth. The damp and smelly ones inhabit the depths of a rusted cargo. What? What? Is this a joke? Like, because damp and smelly ones inhabit the rusted cargo, it seems to indicate the ship itself, as if somebody was making fun of the scientists. And obviously, it almost looks like some kind of a political satire. I don't quite get that. Astronomy complained. Enough with the bouillabaisse. Because one of the guys is obsessed with bouillabaisse, which I assume is his secret password for the encryption. Enough with those faded and scaly fish soaking in the bottom of an old sauce. I have always suspected that the reputation of the French gourmet was misplaced, and now that I swallow Mr. Paul de Provence cooking noon and night, I am sure of it. How come, with the millions of recipes in the world, our cook can only prepare this one? Did it never occur to him to prepare something else, a side of beef, for instance, or a cauliflower melt, or pasta? He asserts that on a ship it's easiest to procure fish. Great. I suspect that above all, he is lazy and lacks imagination. Could our supervisors please return this incompetent to his ovens in Paris? Okay. Index of vegetal and mineral characteristics. Filamentous red algae. Algae. Vegetal alkaloid. Basaltic rock. Volcanic emissions, black smoke to be confirmed. This is especially reminiscent of some of the forms I've already encountered. But I guess that's finally all in here. Let's continue down this corridor.
I'll never fit. We have to find another stairway.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Nothing interesting here? No, apparently not.
This is the inhalation laboratory. There's no use going in without the hydroxide oxygen mix. We have to gather the ingredients first.
Well, but there are a bunch of corpses that you could investigate.
This is the inhalation laboratory. There's no use going in without the hydroxide oxygen mix. We have to gather the ingredients
Well,
first.
excuse me. Okay, this is closed.
This is the inhalation laboratory.
Okay.
There's
this
no use
is
going in without the
linked
hydroxide oxygen
through
mix.
here, so
We have to gather the ingredients first.
she won't enter anyway. And this, I would assume, goes to the other level. I mean, other map, not necessarily another level. So let's do that. Because I do have a bunch of email addresses and, I mean, passwords and logins.
Fresh air. Feels so good.
Ah, so I am on board already. Okay. But I want to search for the other ingredient first, because I feel like is she coming this way or is she unable to? It feels like something is potentially blocking her way. Or maybe she isn't just isn't looking that direction. But I feel like I will have to find the ingredient in its physical form anyway, so it's not like reading the emails is going to fail me with that.
Dogs here? Who is their owner? There must be someone else on the ship. They don't look very friendly, but I have to use the bridge.
Well, actually you don't have to, because at first I want you to go around this area, just to make sure you're not overlooking anything important.
Okay, I have to use the bridge. Maybe if I tempt the dogs with bait, I might distract them.
Okay, this just goes back inside. I perhaps shouldn't have done that. Laboratory rooms and dining room. So, wait, how can this go back to where I was? I don't think there's another set of doors. Ah, okay. So, previously I've gone... Freak. Well, I guess I was planning to do that anyway. I just wanted to take a look at the map first, but... I need to stop compulsively clicking on things before I check what they are. It doesn't look like there's much things of interest here without the mutated weird birds that one of the guys mentioned. Okay, so this will go back inside. wonder if they are going to flee if she approaches. No, that's what most birds would do.
Are my eyes playing tricks on me? These birds look huge. A giant species. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and now she can pick up the dead rat and perhaps...
A rodent carcass. I wonder if I can use this as bait for the dogs. Well, I've got nothing to lose in trying.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so let's go. Oh man, she's walking even slower now. How heavy can such a rat be? Like, it's a pretty big rat, don't get me wrong, but still. To be honest, I'm not even entirely sure why I'm going the other direction, but it's not like I have much of a choice because... Oh, well, I could be reading the other emails. I have like a bajillion passwords already, but I feel like exploring the physically available options first is more prudent as opposed to spending the next 2 hours reading emails non-stop.
That's for you. Bon appetit.
Okay. So, you think at least now she would hurry up, actually. You know, to cross the bridge in time. But apparently she doesn't care that much. Come on. Wait. I'm kind of confused here. So she went down, right? I think, but how do I... This seems to be the outright wrong camera. Ah, it's not really another level. It's like this was like a catwalk, and now she's on the actual deck. Well, I guess she doesn't intend to do anything with this.
The entrance lock I was looking for? I hope it leads to the tanks. It's closed, no luck. Can you open it from the area map?
Can I?
Wait, I might have the key.
So,
No, I don't have the right one. The entrance lock door inscription says CT06T. Make a note of this. It will help us find the right key. If you ask me, Major Leonard had an extra one. Can you lead me to the security station? It's on the first deck.
Okay, but what is this? It's one of those switches, but where would it lead? Seems it's stuck anyway. Okay, this is getting a little bit old at this point, because, you know, I have nothing against actually reading the emails and such. It gives me some new information and some new elements of the lore. And by that I mean, it's not that I require constant action in a game, but I feel like watching her slowly walk across those big locations is not interesting in the slightest, because really there's no novelty to it. It's not like it gives you any new information about the world or about the story or about anything really, and it's not like you have any kind of control over it, because, you know, ordinarily in a game, even if you are forced to backtrack, you can derive some kind of a pleasure from it. Maybe not pleasure, but some kind of an entertainment from it, because you are actively in control of your own character. So, you know, you can jump around, you can try to look for secret passages, you can try to look for shortcuts, whereas here it's a little bit pointless how I'm on the passive observer of her walking around, and I can't do anything to like make her hurry up. She's doing everything, you know, in her own speed, which the speed itself is not particularly impressive, I must say. So, I need to get inside here. But to do that requires a code to this, I guess. So, any input on it?
We have to go through the outer deck to reach the medical section and make the hydroxide oxygen treatment.
Okay. Not really. So I did have a bunch of passwords from the security guys. Like, one guy's password is literally password. Ah, right. I don't really need her for that. Don't go there. It's just going to take time. Like, there was an audio file.
Lieutenant, it's regarding the digital archives.
I'm not sure I approve the idea of recording our passwords on audio tape. What if someone listened to them?
Impossible. The archives are sealed. We don't have a choice anyway. The new regulation...
I know. Another brilliant idea from the staff captain.
It's recording, Lieutenant.
All right. Name, Lincoln. First name, Michael.
Okay, so M. Lincoln, and the password is password. Which is kind of hilarious, but also a classic. Base Security Part 2. Oh, Base Security Part 1, okay. Okay, so I've actually read that already about M. Lincoln, whose email I'm reading at this very moment. Okay. So part 2. Maintaining security at Eden Base does not consist solely of protecting it from human enemies. The neighborhood of non-human creatures potentially hostile makes demands on our defensive system. Military authorities had not foreseen this problem. Unique in the annals of the military. Truth be told, we are not equipped to counter a massive tyrant's attack, should they choose to launch one. Failing any other solution, I am inspired by an extraterrestrial security report in defense to a UFO invasion to establish alert and evacuation procedures. It would, however, fail to replace a serious study on the martial organization of the Tirades and on their metabolism in order to immediately prepare specialized forces. Our scientific colleagues, let's be frank, will not volunteer for these kinds of studies. Okay. And the combat Tirade cast. In a distant past, a genetic mutation allowed certain Tirade individuals to assume a defensive role among the community, but it was later apparently that these differentiated creatures were organized into a caste. The caste of warrior Tirades, or combat Tirades, is a prime example of evolutionary animal specialization. Their entire morphology equips them for their mandated mission. The inventory of natural weapons is at the very least intimidating. The double pair of muscular arms with claws as sharp as the Atlantic cutlass fish is the most lethal, but others are worthy of fear. Their dorsal spurs are filled with highly irritating substance. Their ringed teeth are able to chew through metal, and their scaly tails are used as a whip. It is not surprising that within their own community, the combat Tirades are feared and often avoided. How to relax after a hard day of work. Before a physical state, relaxation is a state of mind. A fact to be remembered: it is impossible for the body to relax if the mind is worried, preoccupied by dark thoughts. Start by freeing your thoughts of daily concerns. A full and deep breath will help in that regard. Imagine that you are walking alone along a peaceful landscapes, sand dunes, a shady pasture, or a mountain path on a nice summer evening. Smell the perfume of the grass or the wet sand. Listen to the waves. You are on a warm and welcoming planet beyond the solar system. Breathe. You are feeling very good. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Now, what about mail? Because I don't have the password for his sensitive files. Base security. Hello, Michael. It has always seemed to me that security was not the main priority for the authorities. Do you know our budget is smaller than that of hygiene office budget? I believe nonetheless that we should request a supplement. My quarters are dilapidated and my weapons jam one out of 3 times. We can't continue working under those conditions. I agree, but such a request is doomed to fail. I've been asking for a box of ammunition for 6 months to replace my rusted ones, and I've received no response. This is scandalous. We must act. There's nothing to do other than wait. Wait for an incident that will scare them enough to warrant some additional spending, as long as the incident isn't too serious. Let's see each other. Nancy, am I disturbing you? Yes, a bit. I'm working. Are you going to make me believe that? How many lovers visited you this morning? We might be overheard. Don't worry about being overheard. You don't worry about being overheard in other situations. Is that a sex joke? I would assume. I really have work to do. Jack Lowell asked me in a report on combat tirade jumping rituals. To ask a beautiful woman of this kind of work, what a waste. I'm free tonight, are you? I don't know. Meet me at the door, be on time, or else I'll send an armed guard to get you. 2 trainees under my wing. Wow, that's disturbing. That sounds vaguely rapey. Like, he's pretty much forcing her to go on a date with him, which is not okay. Paul Germish is not one to complain, even if anyone had a good reason to. I am certain that no petition from base personnel would have included his signature, and with cause 6 hours of travel are needed from the... What? 6 hours of travel are needed from the supertanker's upper deck to the ascending abyss in the middle of the Tirade's world where Paul works. So right, because at first I assumed there's a space on the ship large enough so that it requires 6 hours of travel, which would be ridiculous, but they are talking about the distance from the ship and from the depths where the Tirades are located. I have no clue how he feeds himself, finds water to drink, or finds breathable air in his faraway post. Very few humans on this earth must know such isolation. Perhaps only astronauts and certain lighthouse keepers during a storm must experience what Paul lives with the supply when the supply ships drift away. At times I'm worried about him. How long can he survive isolated from all of us, away from everything? Well, I don't know. But I don't have the password for his secure documents, so I guess I'll listen to the other one.
Lieutenant, it's regarding the digital archives.
I'm not sure I approve the idea of recording our passwords on audio tape. What if someone listened to them?
Impossible. The archives are sealed. We don't have a choice anyway. The new regulation...
I know. Another brilliant idea from the staff captain.
It's recording, Lieutenant.
All right. Name, Lincoln. First name, Michael. Alias, I have to provide the alias to...
Yes.
Alias, M. Lincoln. Password? Password. Your turn now.
Name, Leonard. First name, Andy. Alias, A. Leonard. Password, P38. There. It's done.
P38. So, base security, read that already. Urgent security. Major, my apologies. I've read that already from the other side. This is, excuse me, from one of the scientists. Now, files. Okay, I'm kind of confused here, because this is the major, right? He was even addressed as such in one of the emails. Oh, wait, I didn't check this. Yeah, code to the security room. Right. What about the other guy from the security? Did he have anything interesting in? Code to access Tirade's doors. Okay, this is... And code to access security robots. Obviously potentially important. Code to access the mixing room, which I'm going to need later. But for now, I should be able to... Can I copy the codes? That would be kind of easier. Oh, wait, no, I mean, I want him. Andy Leonard. And I want this. I don't think I can copy it, but... Oh, I can. Okay, that's great. So, this should give me access to here, which in turn should give me the key to thingamajig. Wait, why doesn't it? Is it wrong? I was pretty sure it was open for a second or so. Yeah, right. So, did it close automatically after a bit?
Let's not waste time, please. Remember our objective, to procure some hydroxide. Thanks.
What are you talking about? Are you nuts? Like...
You're wasting my time.
It was you who told me that I need a key from the major, so... What is your deal? Okay, I don't get her, to be honest. But I guess there was an alternate path at the very beginning. Well, alternate. A path to maybe find the other part of the mixture. And at the very least, I do know how to open this door.
Okay, let's go below.
When it becomes relevant. Although, I'm kind of convinced. Okay, so the game actually crashed, which might be a signal that I should perhaps pause, but why is she going in the other direction? Is she... Maybe... Aha! Right, because there's like a landslide in the way or something. Or like a blockage. It might actually be a sign that I should perhaps, you know, stop for now, but before I do, I want to get to the other part of the ship to test if I remembered it correctly and if it leads to some other new location, or if I'm lost, because that's also totally possible. But anyway, this should lead back to the very beginning of the game. And there was like a staircase here that I didn't take originally around here. Come on. Was it here? I'm kind of confused now. Does this even lead anywhere? Because at first I remember her commenting on this, on like going to the other deck or something when I was walking past here, but I guess this doesn't lead anywhere, or at least it doesn't look like it does. That's where I started, and I think I've searched all of those. So... but there's another staircase here, and it goes up. Okay, that's an interesting way of utilizing the stairs.
This is an area service switch. When changing areas, you have to click on it to enable a new network of cameras. Careful, I'm flicking the switch. Fresh air. Feels so good.
Okay, so this just goes to the outside of the ship, to the main deck. So this actually doesn't help me in the slightest, to be honest. I've been here, but she said that to get to the hatch here, I need a code from the major, but she doesn't want to even enter the place where the major is. So I'm definitely kind of confused here. I guess I can also check this. Oh, I guess it's not an entrance, it's some kind of a siren. Yeah, and much the same here, you can hear it. But I'm kind of confused then. Oh, I can even use the horn. I'm kind of confused then as far as what I'm supposed to be doing, because I guess I'll go back, because she didn't want to enter the room with the major, and I'm pretty sure I've searched everything else. Although there was one body I don't think I searched, So I'll maybe get back to that, but this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to look for it, well, for whatever I'm missing, next time. What's her opinion?
I have nothing more to tell you. Focus. I have nothing more to tell you. Focus.
Ah, okay. I guess she's annoyed that I've forgotten what I was doing. Yeah, I have the first ingredient, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I searched everything. Well, anyway. This episode has been long enough, so... What? Cannot save while processing data. What are you talking about? That's kind of annoying. Although, there was a body in the sauna that I guess I didn't... I guess she didn't really search thoroughly because she was scared at the time, so maybe I can convince her to do it now.
Good, the card works. I'm flicking the area server switch. Careful, I'm flicking the switch.
Okay, but really, this episode has been long enough, so if the game would allow me to save, I would be very grateful. I'm going to end it here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!